What's up, guys? My name is Ty Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel where we like to share the real world experiences and the things that we have done to grow and manage a 7, 8, and 9-figure portfolio. Okay, so in this video, I want to answer some questions that many of our students are asking. Okay, and these are the students that enrolled into our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, and you can get that at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. So I've been getting a lot of the same questions, so I wanted to make this video and answer it for everyone, and I think it's going to help everyone too, including our viewers. All right, so the question that I keep getting is, why is it that I do not own any Bitcoins? Okay, even though our team started, the first Bitcoin and cryptocurrency trading and investing channel that I know of, right, back in 2013. How come I do not own any Bitcoins? Okay, and if I believe that Bitcoin is going to be a game changer in the world of finances, and it's one of the most revolutionary financial technologies ever invented by humans, then why don't I own any Bitcoins? Now, on the other hand, why is it that my business partner, LeonFu.com, the Honorable Grandmaster, why does he own a large portion of his portfolio in Bitcoins? Okay, and when I say large portion, I think he has over 30% of his portfolio in Bitcoins. Okay, and he's constantly working on increasing that percentage to increase it even more. Okay, whereas on my side, I probably have less than, it's not 100% accurate to say that I have 0 Bitcoins. I probably have about less than $100 with the Bitcoins from all the wallets that I opened up over the years. I still got $5 here, $10 there, $20 there, things like that. So there's probably about less than $100 worth of Bitcoins in my possession, in my control. Okay, so that's why I say I don't have any Bitcoins, because most of those are just crumbs. Okay, so why is it that I own no Bitcoins going into this next bull market here, and why is it that my business partner and Leon is basically like the chief investment officer on our team, so he makes most of the big decisions. He, and does the analysis so that our team knows what coins to get into and what coins not to get into. Okay, so, and then once he decides that, then what I do is David and I do a lot of the technical analysis to get into it. Okay, and it's not that the reason why we do it like that, we split up the responsibilities, is so that we can scale, so that we can have time to manage a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio. Okay, so that's the reason why we have the task split like that. And just so you guys know, when you start managing a larger portfolio, and when I say larger, I mean like when you start getting into the multiple 7-figure portfolios, right? You really got to look at building a team to help you manage that portfolio, or build software to help you manage it. Okay, that's one thing that when I was growing up in America and I was learning how to trade, no one ever told me that. No one ever told me that, hey, when you start managing a multiple 7-figure, 8-figure portfolio, 9-figure portfolio, that you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. Maybe it seems obvious, to the guys on Wall Street, or maybe it seems obvious to the guys that are managing large portfolios, but for a, broke-ass Vietnamese refugee like myself, right, who came to America as a political refugee after the war between the U.S. and Vietnam, and coming to America very poor, I never finished high school, and then living in the ghettos, and then hanging around the wrong people, and then getting involved in drugs and going to prison for nearly 14 years, and then coming out and having to rebuild my life over in my mid-30s. Somewhere along the line, no one told me that, I must have missed it, or either that or somebody didn't tell me that when you start managing, multiple 7 figures, 8 figures in your life, you need a team or very specialized software. Okay, so in order to scale, in order to keep growing and keep doing what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys in this video the reasons why I chose not to have Bitcoins in this upcoming bull market, and the reason why Leon is doing it. And then I'm going to share with you guys the advantages and disadvantages of each of the decisions that we made. And then I'm also going to share with you guys what is the expected outcomes, what we can expect the outcomes to be. And then I'm going to share with you guys in the future, after this bull market, what my thoughts are about Bitcoin and how much I'll be buying and the reasons why. Okay, so let's start with the primary reason why I am holding all altcoins and no Bitcoins, and the reason why Leon is holding a large portion of his portfolio in Bitcoins. All right, so first of all, you guys got to understand that Leon had more money than I did when we first started getting into crypto back in 2012. Okay, matter of fact, it was Leon who helped me get my very first Bitcoins. Okay, so shout out to the Honorable Grandmaster LeonFu.com for helping me get my first Bitcoins, because I sure as hell didn't know how to get it when we first got into it in 2012, 2013. But he's also thankful to me that I showed him the Bitcoin white paper, because I was working at an energy brokerage firm at that time that was mining Bitcoins, and that's how I found out about it in the city of Dallas, in the state of Texas in America. And so that's how I found out about Bitcoins, and I sent him the white paper, told him that the guys that owned the energy brokerage firm that I was working at was mining this magic internet money called Bitcoin. Check it out, see if it's real. And then, he read the white paper and he started buying Bitcoins, and then, he told me to get into it, and that's how our journey started back in 2012. Okay, so now I believe that so from the very beginning, Leon has always started out with more money than I did, because I came out of prison, Leon came out of college, and he's been working on Wall Street for many years as a software engineer, and so he was able to save up a little bit more money than me and have a little bit more money than me by the time we started investing into Bitcoins. Okay, so because of that, okay, he's got more money than I do, and for Leon, it's not that important that he makes a significantly large amount of returns in this upcoming bull market. He's already made enough to where he doesn't have to worry about money anymore in his life, and his kids don't have to worry about money in their life. And he only has one kid, by the way. Okay, I have 4 kids. Okay, and I come from a very what you would consider a very stupid family. Okay, the reason why we know that is because my dad has not done anything in his life, my uncle has not done anything, my cousins have not done anything in their lives, and none of the men in my family have done anything that is spectacular or anything that is just my brothers, no one. Okay, so we have a very good track record of doing lots of foolish and stupid things in our lives, right? I am the 3rd generation of men in my family to go to prison. My grandfather went to prison as a political prisoner. My dad went to prison as a political prisoner also, and my older brother and I went to prison as a criminal prisoner. Okay, for drugs. So my dad and my grandfather was in prison for political reasons. Okay, so because of that, we don't have a very good track record in my family. So because of that, I don't know if my kids are going to grow up and have a brain or not. So while I have an opportunity to make some large sums of money and life-changing profits and know how to control the risk and know how to take the risk, I'm willing to take that risk to do it, to help my kids out, my 4 kids out and their kids. Okay, so basically I'm a bigger risk taker than Leon. Okay, the fact that I did 14 years in prison, that already lets you know that I'm a risk taker. Okay, so if the market goes up from here and Leon gets into Bitcoin, and let's just say it goes up, let's just say 5x. We're not even going to talk about any outrageous numbers. Let's just say 5 to 10x. Okay, well then his portfolio is going to go up 5 to 10x. And if I'm a millionaire already, and Leon, it has more money than me, right? Then you guys can do the math. I mean, it's not that freaking hard. That more than likely he's going to be a multi-millionaire. Okay, so I am going to also, and so is he. Okay, but here's the thing that I want you guys to consider, right? I already have enough money to live in this lifetime, okay? Leon already has enough money to live in this lifetime. His kids, my kids also. But what I'm going for is, you know, the big numbers, right? The 9 and 10 digit numbers, okay? That's my goal, you know? And some of you guys might say, hey, Ty, you know, if you already made enough money to retire and live a good life now, you know, why are you still worried about making money and doing all this other shit for, okay? The reason is very simple, guys. You know, some people, like I have students that, you know, are millionaires now, they're retired, but they bust their ass and, you know, train 6, 7, 8 hours a day to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I see other guys, you know, working on their different skills that they've always wanted. Some want to go play soccer, some want to improve their golf skills, right? For me, right, I've always enjoyed making money, and it's a challenge to me. So for me, you know, being able to crack $100 million, being able to crack $1 billion, to me, that's like winning the championships in soccer. That's like winning the championships in the mixed martial arts, like the UFC. To me, that's like, you know, to me and Leon, money is just a scorecard, okay? And in the game of making money, right, you cannot, you know, I want to be one of the best guys on the planet at making money. So that's why, even though I have enough money to live off of, I still like to make money, because there's a certain number, right, in my head that I want to hit. And I want to be able to hit that number just to be able to say that for all the dumb motherfuckers out there that, you know, that say that it cannot be done, and to inspire all the people that grow up in the ghettos, in the barrios, and in the slums, and in the rat holes around the world, that, you know, even if you're not educated, even if you're not that smart, even if you don't come from a rich family, even if you don't have a college education, that as long as you go and learn about money and how to make money, how to invest it, how to make it, how to manage it, how to save it, how to earn interest on it, and surround yourself with people that have those skills, that you can become a multi-millionaire, and that you can become rich and successful in your life without having to rob, cheat, steal, or do something unethical or immoral, okay? So that's what I do it for, okay? And so I'm willing to take that risk because I have that risk-taking nature, right? I'm willing to risk all my money on the altcoins because I believe that in this bull market, maybe not in the next bull market, but in this upcoming bull market, in the short term, we believe, or I believe, that the altcoins are going to do significantly better than Bitcoin does. Okay, so I want to share with you guys what me and Leon believe. Okay, we believe that if gold is a $10 trillion market cap and Bitcoin is going to be a store of value, okay? Bitcoin started out as electronic peer-to-peer cash, but it got hijacked by the Bitcoin maximalists, and they wanted to become a store of value, okay? So whenever you become the best in your field or your industry, right, you are going to take the market share. Meaning that if you look at, you know, Google, it was not the first search engine, but it's become the search engine. You know, we don't say, hey, go Bing this or go Bing that. We say, go Google this or go Google that. All right? So Facebook has become the giant in social media, in the king of social media, okay? So Google has become the king of search. You know, Tesla's become the king of electric cars, right? So when you become the king and you become dominant, then you are gonna get, you know, you're gonna grab all the market share. So for example, Leon and I believe that in the arena of store of value, Bitcoin has already won that. It's clear that the undisputed king of being a store of value is Bitcoin. Like, it's not going to be in Cardano, it's not going to be in Tezos, it's not going to be in Ethereum or any of the other altcoins. It's undisputed right now that the store of value, right, is in Bitcoins. Okay, so because of that, that's not up for argument. That's something that Leon and I have already agreed on and believe in. Okay, so we do agree with the Bitcoin maximalists regarding the fact that Bitcoin is the king of being the store of value. Now, will it be the king of, electronic peer-to-peer cash? Will it be the king of electronic, digital cash or uncensorable money? That we don't know. It could be, but at this moment, the undisputed king of being a store of value is Bitcoin, okay? So because when you start getting into a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio, the biggest challenge that you run into is protecting your wealth, okay? You may not realize that at this moment because you haven't gotten to that figure yet, but the reality is when you get into a bigger portfolio size, the only thing that you're worried about is protection. Like, I just gotta protect my portfolio, okay? However, and that's what Leon is in the mode of. He's in the mode of, hey man, I gotta protect the assets that I have, because as long as I protect it, the market's gonna go up. I'm gonna go up with it. And I'm gonna make a shitload of money. So it doesn't matter. I don't need to take the risk of getting into these altcoins and take a risk with it, because the risk is not worth it. The other thing too is that as your portfolio gets bigger, you have no choice. Even if you like the altcoins, you have no choice. The reason why is because of liquidity, right? Now, it's not that easy, like most people think, to just go onto the exchange and buy $1 million worth of Bitcoins. It's not that easy, okay? Most of the dumbasses that have never done it, they say it's easy, but it's not, okay? Now, when you guys go in and buy altcoins, when you guys buy like $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, that's very simple. It's not difficult. You can buy it anytime you want. But when you need to buy $1 million for a coin and come in and out whenever you want to, that's not always easy. And the undisputed only coin that you can come in and out with $5-10 million, right, safely, is with Bitcoin. So when your portfolio gets into the 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio number range, you don't have a choice. Even if I like altcoins, I can't get into it. Okay. Now I'm at the cusp. I'm at the edge of being at that point, right? Leon has already gotten past that point. So even if he wants to invest in some of the altcoins that I invest into, he can't, because there's not enough liquidity. Okay. And that's something that a lot of guys don't ever talk about. And I'm telling you guys this because it's a huge problem. No matter how big you guys think the crypto market is, it's still small, guys. It's still very small, okay? Now, some of you guys might say, oh, well, Ty, you say that, but MicroStrategy just went out there, one of the US companies, they just went out there and bought $425 billion worth of Bitcoins. They were buying like $40,000 worth of Bitcoins every minute for like 2 weeks, okay? And they bought like $425 million worth of Bitcoins, right? And I think they did it in 2 separate time frames, like at they bought some, and then a few months later they bought a couple $100 million, and then a few months later they bought another few $100 million more. Okay, that totaled $425 million. Okay, now we know that that's not bullshit. We know it's true, and the CEO of that company said that, and it's not because they said that, but they have to file that paperwork with the government, and it takes them like 6 months, 7 months, maybe even longer to get approval to do something like that. So that's not something that they can just go out to the market. The CEO of the company decides one day, hey, I need to buy $100 million or $400 million worth of Bitcoins, and they just went out there and just buy it. That's not how it works in America, okay? There's a lot of legal bullshit you gotta go through in order for the company to do that, okay? Especially if it's a public company like MicroStrategy, okay? So, because you cannot come in and out, you don't have a choice. You gotta stick with the coins that have a lot of liquidity, all right? So right now, Leon is stuck with that issue. He's stuck because he has to have Bitcoins in his portfolio because of the liquidity issue, right? The second thing, for me, right, I still have a liquidity issue, but I'm willing to take that extra risk, okay? So what's the risk? The risk is that if my portfolio goes up 10, 20, 30 times, right, I might not be able to sell some of it, because there's not enough liquidity for me to unload the altcoins. And I'm not talking about these are bullshit altcoins, right? I'm talking about, like the reputable altcoins like Cardano, like Tezos, like Ethereum, Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, things like that. Okay, I'm not talking about the coins that are in the top, at the bottom of the list. I'm talking about the top 30 coins. Those are the ones I'm talking about, okay? Now, some of you guys might say, well, Ty, you must not know what you're talking about, or that's bullshit, you know. When you look on there, it says that, you know, there's, you know, 10 million traded for this coin a day, 500 million, 100 million. Hey guys, that's all bullshit, man. Like if a coin, like for example, like some people say, hey Ty, how come you don't talk a lot about Decred anymore? Well, they don't have enough volume. It says 5 million on CoinMarketCap, right? It says that they trade 5 million a day, but that's not the reality. The reality is most of those are bullshit exchanges reporting fake volume, okay? So the only volume on there that I trust is like Bittrex and like Binance, and those exchanges have less than, I think the last time I checked, it was less than 400,000 worth of Decred being traded. So how can I talk about something, even if I like it, how can I talk about it? Because I can't even get into it. Like if I need to buy Decred, I need to buy or sell like $500,000 at a time. How am I going to be able to trade that? I can't even trade $100,000 worth of it at a time. So how can I talk about something that I can't even trade? Okay, so that's the reason, guys. And some of the guys, people in crypto, and some of the other YouTube channels, they're not telling you this. The reason is because they haven't fucking bought that much before. They've never traded that amount of volume before. That's the reason why they don't know. Because if they did, they would know that, oh, you know, if I try to trade $100,000 worth of Decred while it's only trading $400,000 a day, right? That's not going to be very realistic. And the guys that do the real trading, they would look at the volume on CoinMarketCap and they can quickly tell you that's real, that's not real, that's not real volume, that's not real volume. They can tell you that because they've done it at so many different exchanges. They know, okay? So that's the reason why, even though the altcoins show a lot of trading volume, the reality is there's not that much trading volume, okay? So if you have a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio, it's not that easy to put your money into that coin, even if you like that project, okay? So here's the thing. You might say, hey, Ty, why don't I just put a small bet size, a small percentage? Instead of putting 1 or 2% of my money into that coin, why don't I just put in 0.25% or 0.1%, right? Well, the reality is it doesn't make a difference. The reality is if let's just say I have $1 million portfolio and I put 1%, right, or 0.5%, that 1% is 10,000, 0.5% is 5,000, right? If I put $5,000 into that coin and it goes up 20x, right, that's only $100,000. And meanwhile, my entire portfolio of $1 million, if it goes up 20x, right, that's like 20 million. And if that $100,000 out of $20 million, that's not a big deal. It's so negligible that it's not worth the time, the effort, and the risk, and the computer security risk to even mess with that small portion. Okay, that small of a bet size. And like I said, guys, like if I place a bet of 20, 50, or $100,000 on a coin, right? It might sound like it's a big bet size to you guys, but the reality is it's a small bet size for me and the guys on our team because we have bigger portfolios, okay? So just be aware of that. So don't think that when I say that it's a small bet size that you guys think, oh man, you know, Ty, you know, he used to be a poor ass dude and now he's got a little bit of money and he's, you know, he thinks he's better than everyone. No, it's not because of that. It's because it really is a small percentage of our entire portfolio. And that's why when I say that you guys bet, you know, that's why whenever we talk about betting on a coin, we always talk about betting in terms of percentage and not in terms of US dollars, because we don't want people to think, oh, Ty put $50,000 into it, so that means I can put a lot of money into it. That's not true, right? You have to ask what percentage of that, you know, is Ty's portfolio, okay? So those are the things I want to share with you. Now, if there's two scenarios, let's role play a couple of scenarios so that you guys understand. Let's just say that Leon and I both have $1 million portfolio, okay, right? Let's just say, let's just make up a number. Well, he's got more money than me, so let's just say we double his portfolio, okay? $2 million minus $1 million portfolio, okay? So let's take a look at this. A large portion of his portfolio is Bitcoin, right? So if the market goes up 10x, then it goes from 2 million to 20 million, okay? Now, my portfolio, since it's all altcoins, let's say that it doesn't go up. The altcoins don't go up. Matter of fact, it gets crushed. It gets crushed. Okay, it gets crushed. So while Bitcoin is going up 10x, right? While it's going up, let's say that my portfolio actually drops 50%. It actually drops 50% because Bitcoin's going up. Okay, because remember, there's what we call a seesaw effect, the Bitcoin seesaw effect. And what is the Bitcoin seesaw effect? The Bitcoin seesaw effect is when the price of Bitcoin goes up, so it requires less Bitcoins to buy your altcoins. Okay, it requires less Satoshis to buy your altcoins. So because of that, the price of your altcoin is going to drop. Right? Now, in the beginning, people are going to freak out and go, oh, okay, the price of my altcoin is dropping, so they panic and they sell it, and then they convert it to Bitcoins and buy up the Bitcoins, and that pushes the price of Bitcoin up even more. Okay? Now, then somebody realizes, then people start to realize, hey, the price of the coin is dropping in terms of Bitcoin, but in terms of US dollars, it has not dropped that much. And that's when people realize, oh, and they understand the Bitcoin seesaw effect, okay? When the price of Bitcoin goes up, then the price of the altcoins over here drop in terms of Bitcoin, not in terms of US dollars or euro or fiat, okay? So when they do that, the coin starts to balance out, and then that's when altcoins have a run. That's when people realize, oh, it's not a big deal, and that's when they buy back into the altcoins, and the altcoins have a run. And when altcoins start running, right, I believe that it can run 5, 10, 20 times. Okay, it can go up 5, 10, 20 times easily, right? Now, do I see Bitcoins going up 10 times? So 10 times from here, from 12,000, would make $120,000 per Bitcoin. And I have to ask myself, is Bitcoin going to get to 10x first, or is Ethereum going to get to 10x first? Or is Tezos going to get up to 10x first, right? Now, over the long term, meaning that multiple cycles, right? Multiple bull and bear cycles, Leon and I both believe that Bitcoin will continue to hold its value and continue going up. For certain. Like, if there's anything that we know for certain that's going to go up, it's going to be Bitcoin, all right? However, in this short term, in this coming bull market that's going to happen like in, I don't know, 6 months, in a year, 2 years, right? Do I believe that Bitcoin is going to outperform the altcoins, right? And I do not personally believe so, right? Leon thinks it might. Okay, he's not certain about it. It might, right? But he's not certain about it. I'm more convinced that the altcoins will reach 10x long before Bitcoin reaches 10x. That could be wrong. So what happens if I'm wrong? So we always have to ask, what if we are wrong on our investment thesis? What if we are wrong on this trade? What is the outcome? Well, the outcome is that I have plenty of money in reserves, right? Because I'm retired. I have plenty of money in reserves, and paying my monthly bills is not a problem for a long time. Okay, so let's just say that I don't make the 10x that Leon makes in this upcoming bull market because he has more Bitcoins than I do. I'm okay with that. And he and I did a really rough estimate, and we said that even if the worst case scenario, the altcoin market only goes up 2x or 3x, I'm okay with that. You know, if I have a $1 million portfolio right now and it goes up 2 times or 3 times, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that because I'm not going to stop trading or investing. So in the next bull market, if I get another 2, 3x, I'm okay with that too. Okay? So if I'm okay with the worst case scenario where I don't make the maximum gains, right? And I'm okay with it, then that's the reason why I'm willing to take that risk. Now, what happens if I'm right? If Leon is right and Bitcoin goes up, right, and the altcoins lag behind and they don't go up as much, well then my profits are not going to be that big, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a 2, 3x gain. I'm okay with that. Now, what happens if my trading thesis, my trading strategy, or my trading thought turns out to be correct? Well, then if it turns out to be correct, then there's a chance that I'm going to hit 20, 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50x, okay, on my entire portfolio. Not a single coin, but on the entire portfolio. And because of that, I'm willing to take that risk. Because on the downside, I'm okay with it. I already survived the 2018 bear market where everything crashed 90%, and I'm still way ahead. I'm still way ahead of where I started, okay? So I'm okay with that. So I already survived the worst part of the bear market, and I'm still here, and I'm okay with that. Emotionally, everything, financially, I'm okay. So now it's just a matter of, am I gonna get the maximum gains, or am I gonna get not the maximum gains? Okay, am I gonna get a 10x or 2x or 3x? I'm gonna make some gains, but what is the potential? And I'm willing to risk only making 2 or 3x gains in exchange for making 20, 30, 40, 50x gains if I'm right. You guys understand what I'm saying? Okay? Whereas Leon is saying, hey man, I don't care about the 20, 30x gains. With my size portfolio, if I make a 5 to 10x gain, I'm very ecstatic. Very, very ecstatic, okay? I'll be extremely happy. And I don't need to take the risk of trying to make 20x when I can be more certain of the 5 or 10x because I have a bigger portfolio, okay? So I hope that you guys understand where we're coming from, right? Leon has a slightly bigger portfolio than I do, right? He's a little bit more conservative than I am. I'm willing to take a little bit more risk than he is, right? I have a slightly smaller portfolio than he is. It's still a big portfolio, but it's smaller than his. So because of these portfolios, right, we use different strategies. Now, we have 2 indexes on our that Leon and I built. It's called the Taifu 30 Cryptocurrency Market Index, which has Bitcoin in it. And then we have the Taifu 30 Altcoin Market Index, which does not have Bitcoins in it. So the difference between those 2 indexes is that one has Bitcoin and the other one doesn't, okay? And because of that, right, because of our different ideas about the market and the way that we look at the market, Leon is following or is trying to replicate the performance of the Taifu 30 Cryptocurrency Market Index, whereas I am trying to replicate the performance of the Taifu 30 Altcoin Market Index. Okay, so there it is. Okay, now here's the other thing that you guys need to be aware of too, right? Leon and I both agree in the long term and in the short term that the second coin that is going to perform, that we are certain that will perform really well, is Ethereum. Okay, so because of that, he and I are willing to take our chances, right? And we have a large position in Ethereum also, okay? So because of that, we have Ethereum as a large position in case, right? So Leon is hedged both ways. He's ready and prepared for both ways. If Bitcoin goes up, he's got enough Bitcoins in his portfolio to take advantage of it. And if for some reason the altcoin market starts to run up, we believe that the first coin that's going to outperform everyone else that's going to run up is going to be Ethereum. So he has a large portion of Ethereum also, and I also have a large portion of Ethereum. Matter of fact, Ethereum is one of the biggest positions in my portfolio because that's what the Taifu 30 Altcoin Market Index calls for, is Ethereum being one of the biggest. Okay, so because of that, I'm protected either way. The only thing I'm not protected is in my portfolio is that when Bitcoin decides to shoot up early, you know, Bitcoin tends to run up first, and then the altcoins follow behind. You know, after the seesaw effect, is done, then the altcoins follow up. Okay, so I will miss out on that portion of the run, and I am okay with that. I'm willing to accept that I'm going to miss out on that early portion of the bull market, and my portfolio might just stand still, or it might, just go down slightly. Okay, now in 2017, that really hurt me. Okay, that really hurt me when I did not have any Bitcoins in my portfolio, because back then everyone had to buy Bitcoin before they buy any crypto, because the only coin that you could buy with fiat or US dollars or euros was Bitcoin. That was the main one. So if you wanted to invest into altcoins, you still had to buy Bitcoins first. If you wanted to buy Ethereum, you still had to buy Bitcoins first. That pushed the price of Bitcoin up to $20,000. However, today in 2020, right, and into 2021 and moving forward, in the top 30 coins on the Taifu 30 cryptocurrency market index, right? Over half of those coins can be bought directly with fiat dollars. So there's no need for someone to buy into Bitcoin anymore in order to get the fiat, okay? So there's not gonna be that retail pressure to push up the price of Bitcoin, that buy pressure from the retail market. However, we have a different scenario now. In 2020, we have a scenario where big companies are looking to protect the reserves, their cash reserves in their company. So there's companies out there that have $1 billion, $2 billion, $10 billion worth of reserves in their treasury, in their company bank account, and they want to protect that against inflation. So what are they doing? They're doing the same thing that MicroStrategy is doing by going out there and taking a portion of their treasury or their reserves to run their business and go put it into Bitcoin. So if MicroStrategy put $425 million into Bitcoin, right? I want you guys to think about this. How much they bought it, like somewhere around 10,000, I think, and now Bitcoin's at 12,000. So if you put in $425 million in, yes, if you put $425 million into Bitcoin just less than 6 months ago, and now it's up, it's up 20%, then that means that you made almost $20 million on your $425 million investment or reserve, cash reserve into Bitcoin. So that's the reason why, more companies will start doing that. And when it does that, it's going to push the price up regardless if Bitcoin is not the regardless, it's going to push the price up regardless. Okay, so I want you guys to be aware of that. Okay, I arrived at my destination here. Let me finish this outside the taxi here, guys. Okay, kapun kap.
New.
Huh? New, yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying here, guys, right? What I'm saying here is that there's a very good chance, okay, that it's very good that if Leon is holding Bitcoins, he's going to benefit from this boom. And that the pressure, we believe that in 2017, the price of Bitcoin going up was due to retail buying pressure. But going into this bull market, it's not going to be from the retail buying pressure, okay? It's going to be from the institutional and hedge funds buying pressure. Because some of you guys might say, well, they can buy into Ethereum or Chainlink or Tezos or Cardano and any stuff like that, guys. Let me tell you guys something. There's a lot of legal ramifications. There's a lot of legal risk when you start buying crypto for your company. And I can tell you right now, all the executives that work for these big companies, they're not going to take that risk, guys. They're not going to take that risk and put their livelihood, their reputation, their paycheck and everything on the line to recommend their company buy Ethereum or Cardano or Tezos. No matter how good they are, they're not going to take that risk, okay? Because they don't want to be the guy in the company that says, hey man, and people say, hey, why were you stupid enough to recommend Ethereum or Tezos or Cardano for the company treasury, okay? No one is going to take that risk. I'm telling you, the bigger the company, the less chance that they're going to take that risk. Now, so the companies are going to be forced to take reserves, and when they do get Bitcoin reserves, they're going to do it in Bitcoin. They're not going to do it in other cryptocurrencies. Leon and I do not believe that they will put their cash reserves into any other cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin. Now, if they just put a 1% or a 2% or 3% of their cash reserves into Bitcoin, guys, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars with the Bitcoins. MicroStrategy already bought $425 million. The company Square, that's owned by Twitter, the people that own Twitter, they already bought $50 million. okay? And one of the biggest brokers in America, it's called Fidelity, and they have already come out publicly and recommended that all their clients have a reserve of, I think 1 or 2 or 5% or something like that worth of Bitcoins, I forget. But even at 1%, I mean, these guys have millions of customers in America, and if they have to buy 1% of Bitcoins for 1% of their clients, that's a large sum of money, guys. That's a large sum of money, okay? So the pressure to buy Bitcoins up is gonna come from the institutions. That's what we believe in, okay? So I'm telling you guys this because so many of you guys are asking, you know, like, hey, Ty, why are you not taking, buying Bitcoins? Why are you only buying only altcoins, okay? So this video is to help explain that, guys, and I hope that you guys understand how I'm doing that and the decisions that we're making. I'm willing to take that risk, okay? I'm willing to take that risk, and if I'm wrong, then I'm only gonna make 2 or 3x, all right? And if I'm right, then I'm gonna make probably double the returns that Leon is going to make, okay? We don't know, that's just my guess, and I could be totally wrong on that, right? But I'm willing to take that risk because I already survived the bear market, and I'm okay, you know, I'm okay emotionally and financially, so I'm willing to take that risk. I already took the risk, so now I'm willing to settle for the rewards, okay? So, oh, by the way, my goal, I have to mention this also, my goal was to get into Bitcoins, right? To cash out during this next bull market and then take some of the profits and then buy back into Bitcoins during the bear market, okay? However, something has changed. You guys have not heard me talk a lot about Filecoin, okay? Simply because you needed to be an accredited investor to buy Filecoin when it first came out in 2017. And an accredited investor in the US means that you either have $1 million net worth, that does not include, that does not count your house, okay? Just $1 million net worth, or you make $200,000 a year for 2 consecutive years. So because our team, right, meets the criteria for being an accredited investor, we got into Filecoin back then. So now Filecoin just got released, I think like last week. And so what happened is Filecoin has now become a significantly big part of my portfolio and everyone on our team. So because of that, even though my plan was to get into Bitcoins in the next bear market, right? Using the profits that I made from the bull market, now things have changed. And I'll update you guys on how those changes go as I go along, right? But it seems like now that I have to get into Bitcoins, you know, during the bull market, just so that I can reduce the risk in my portfolio. And I'll talk about more about that in a separate video, okay? So I hope that this video helps you guys understand the different things that Leon and I look at when we're considering making our decisions in holding Bitcoin or not, and how we size our bets accordingly, okay? Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you guys want to learn more about how we manage a 7, 8, and 9-figure portfolio, I highly recommend, guys, that you guys go get a copy of our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. You can get it at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint, okay? If you're managing a high 6, 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio, it's best for you to get a copy of it, because in that blueprint, we share all the mistakes, all the things that we've done, and all the strategies that we use to grow a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio, all right? There's nobody else, and there's no one else, and there's no other course that I know of on the market that helps people do that, okay? So go get your copy of it today, right? Don't jack around and make a mistake or something. All it takes is one big mistake, guys, and then you can lose a lot, or you can fall behind and miss the opportunity. And all it takes is one great idea, one great trade, or one great, you know, strategy, or one technique or computer security strategy that we share with you guys, and that can be a whole game changer to help you make life-changing profits, okay? So go get your copy of it today. Follow me on Twitter at HeyTyZen, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Thank you.